Hey, welcome back, 360 Electricians. Welcome back to the 360 Electrician podcast. I'm your host. If we haven't met, what's up? My name is Jeff, the 360 Electrician. Hey, I started this podcast because I want to help electricians become electrical contractors and electrical contractors to level up their business and be successful. I want to teach some of the things that I've learned and especially try to make you avoid the mistakes that I've made. So in this video, let's get right into it. We are going to talk about how you're going to make your business grow in 2023. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of topics that you've heard of, and I get it, but I'm going to try to expand it, especially if it's a term that's used in the industry for like marketing. Okay, marketing, every business uses it, but I am going to tailor it down to marketing for electricians, right? If we talk about anything like digital marketing or digital stuff, we're going to break it down to how, I just pointed to my FieldPulse shirt, how we're going to tie it in to electricians and electrical contractors, okay? So follow along and let's get right into it. If you want to see the video version of this podcast, you know you can head over to YouTube and just type in the search bar the @ symbol, the 360 Electrician podcast, and of course our main channel, which is just at the 360 Electrician. So first and foremost, I'm just going to kind of bullet through some of the items that I think I want to talk about today, and I think that you need to hear about. Some of them you're going to hear again, like I said, for the second, third, fourth time. I'm going to try to make it easy. I'm going to try to make it bite-sized for you because a lot of the subscribers to this podcast and channel, you're in your mid to late 30s. And if that's you, I'm talking to you. This is why I'm making this video. Now, of course, it applies if you're younger and you're older. It applies if you just started your trade contracting business, or if you've been doing it for 20 years and you need a refresher. It counts especially if you're thinking about being a contractor in the next year or two. So what's the number one, number two, number three, number four, number five way that you're going to grow your business? Well, first and foremost, don't forget, I do sell marketing courses and paperwork courses, so you're going to hear a lot about that, and those are all available on my website, www.the360electrician.com. So officially, this podcast is probably sponsored by myself, but we will be talking about some other sponsors of the channel, but not this video particularly, and how they're going to benefit you as well. So let's get right into it. So you're going to hear some stuff that you've already heard before, but I hopefully will refresh your memories and probably put a little bit of an electrician twist into it. So grab a pen and paper, and if you want to watch the live video of this, it's also going to be put on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, www.the360electrician podcast, right? On YouTube, and also you can get links to this podcast on our regular website, www.the360electrician.com, and of course Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So if you're coming in from those, I welcome you. I hope you do subscribe. So the first thing you're going to do if you're going to try to grow your business in 2023 is you're going to have to start networking. Now, networking is easy and it's hard in the same fashion. The easy part is you can join a networking group. And the way you can do that is you can go to Google and type in networking group for Cincinnati, Ohio, networking group for Fresno, California. I don't care where you're coming in from, Dallas, Texas. You're going to find an organization that actually does networking groups. Now, how those usually work is you're going to pay a small fee. Sometimes it's $30 a month. Sometimes it's an annual membership. And they kind of require you to go to the meetings, right? And when you go to the meetings, you're going to be in a room of 10 people, 8 people, 20 people, whatever the group allows. They usually limit it to a certain size. And you will most likely be the only electrical contractor in that room. But here's the cool part. Across from you is sitting a real estate agent, maybe a broker, a general contractor, HVAC, plumber, hairstylist. The point of this is that the deal is you scratch my back and I scratch yours, right? You make an exclusive pact. You're only going to recommend that plumber to everybody you go to, and that plumber is going to recommend you as the only electrician, and you guys are going to help each other's business grow. It's probably one of the easiest networking groups and ways you can get in and start spreading the word. Now, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on any of the YouTube channels or my podcasts, but that truly is a simple way and a very low-cost way to gain clients, okay? And exposure for that matter. So if you're just starting out, that's what it's made for. It's made for you to market and grow. You also, as I said, need to seek out other professionals that are close to your trade, but not exactly. Okay. For example, maybe a construction lawyer, right? Maybe there's lawyers in your area that deal with construction law. And maybe you can approach them and say, hey, Mark, John, Julie, whatever their name is, I'm just getting started. I don't have legal representation, but if I ever need it, I would like to know that I can come to you for help. Absolutely, Jeff. Of course, I'd love to help you, et cetera, et cetera. And then maybe you can throw in there and say, hey, and by the way, if you have any projects that have gone south and they need to get repaired, or you need any expert advice, I would be willing to help you out as well until the time comes where I need you. It's a great way to network, right? So I've got plenty of different ways that you can network. Networking to me is not just word of mouth, but it does have a lot to do with it. You go to the gas station, don't fill your gas at the pump. Walk into the gas station. Anybody that you can have a conversation with while you're wearing your logo, right? Anybody you can have a conversation with, you can just say, hey, wow, that weather today, or any kind of icebreaker, even the person that's taking your money, and just say, yep, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm an electrician. I got to go to, this and this and do a big project today. And by the way, if you need an electrician, here's my card. Give me a call. Or if you refer anybody to me, let them know that you sent me and I'll come back down here and I'll give you $20 or I'll give you an incentive or whatever the case may be. That's just another way to market. When you go to your kid's school or when you're at an event or anywhere you are, you have to wear your logoed shirts and your items. I preach that your logo needs to know in 2 seconds. Anybody needs to know that your logo is an electrical logo. It's got to have a light bulb, an electrical bolt, a plug. I need to know in 2 seconds flat when I look at your logo that you are an electrician. It's super, super important, okay? Find new business opportunities by networking. I think it's a great way to go. All right, the second thing you can do to grow your business is to start getting, and think about this, you've got your license in electrical, I'm assuming, or you're going to get it in the state that you're in, okay? Another tip for me to grow your business is now get your other certifications. And what do I mean by that? If you're going to do EV electric car chargers and you want to stick to a couple of brands or you want to be a supplier of those brands, call those brands up and say, do you guys have a certification? Do you guys have a vendor something that makes me official? There's courses when we do gate motors that if we take those courses on safety, we get a certification from the quote unquote industry. A big one is solar, right? You can get qualified, you can get your certificate and be a certified national electrical solar installer. Those things are going to help you grow your business. Why? Several ways. It's going to beat the competition when you show up at a house and you say, hey, I'm a certified installer of solar versus I'm just licensed to do solar. Okay, I'm licensed and certified by a nationwide industry organization. Gate motors. Hey, that guy can do your gate motor, but I guarantee you he's not even licensed and he doesn't have any certifications. Here's our credentials. It builds trust. It's the way you're going to grow your business, especially when you hit those property management companies to try to get work, right, guys? What's the biggest way you can do that? Bombard them with awesome information that's useful to them, not to you. Your certificate of insurance, your liability insurance, all that good stuff, referrals, and your certifications. I can work on your apartment's gate motor. I'm certified to do that, okay? Then that is a big plus, big win, and it allows you to up your dollar, your tickets a little bit more because now, there's a value for that client to pay you a little bit more. Yeah, that guy's about $100 cheaper, but this guy is certified, warranted, licensed, the whole shebang. I think I'm going to go for him. I hope that helps. That's a big way that you can do it. What's another way you're going to grow your company in 2023, guys? Well, it's not sponsored. This video is not sponsored by them, but the channel is. That's FieldPulse, fieldpulse.com. I have links below if you're watching on YouTube. I'll try to put them up on all the Spotify and everywhere. But if you sign up with FieldPulse, you're going to get a 20% discount on your monthly membership and a 30% if you sign up for the whole year. Now, why am I talking about FieldPulse? Guys, it's 2023. You have to have service software. I don't care if you're a one-man show or a 20-man show. You got to run your business somehow. Are you going to only stick to paperwork? You can. You have to have paperwork. I sell my paperwork course. You want my paperwork with all my terms and conditions, email marketing, all that stuff? Go to the website and pick that up at www.the360electrician.com. However, I take my paperwork content, cut and paste it also into the digital format on FieldPulse, okay? And now what does that do? Technology is going to help me grow my business in several ways. FieldPulse is going to have the marketing included. You're going to be able to market and send emails out to your clients. You're going to have those lists ready to go. If you put tags in the software, so for example, if I do gate motors and I do a swing gate motor or a rolling gate motor, I can narrow it down and put a tag for gate motor. I can narrow the tag to a rolling gate motor, and I can narrow the tag to the brand of that gate motor, okay? You can do the same thing for EV charger, solar, what else? Anything and everything equipment-wise you install. Why? Because let's just say that company might have a recall. Square D, you remember that recall? And if you had put Square D, QO, and maybe residential, commercial, whatever, and there was a problem, and you want to now go back to those clients that you did 5 years ago, and Square D is going to pay you to do it, I'm sure, right? We don't know what happened with that whole ordeal. Didn't become as big of a problem, I guess, as most. That's a whole other podcast. But now you can click in your FieldPulse software, Square D, QO, hit a button. Everybody's going to pop up that purchased that from you. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to start cold calling them and saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, do you remember me? I'm Jeff, the 360 Electrician. We installed that panel for you 3 years ago. Well, I'm sorry to say it, but Square D has got a recall, blah, 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 and boom, you hit them. Let's just say residential clients. You put a tag in your field software that says residential clients. And now you're sitting around like I am doing a podcast because you're not busy on the field. I'm just kidding, of course, but you're not busy. You're in the office and you say, boy, I sure wish I was working right now. Oh, here's an idea Jeff just gave me on the podcast. Let me go into my field software and type in residential customers. Hit that button. You get their names, you get their address, you get their email address. Then you make an email that says, oh, it's almost spring. What happens spring forward and fall back? You change smoke detector batteries. What, Jeff? What are you talking about? Heck yeah. You want to call those clients and email them and say, hey, we have a special. If you did it within a year, it's under warranty or something like that. But hey, we have a special. We're changing smoke detector batteries, 4 for the price of 3, $199. We're going to come out. We're going to change it. We're going to put a lithium ion energizer battery. We're going to test it. And if you need a replacement, 50% off. I don't know. I just threw that out there, you guys. But you see how I can find that client through my software? Super easy. Right? What if a new product came out for commercial? Maybe it's some kind of a really cool sensor for something. I don't know what. You put commercial and maybe you put another tag in there for restaurant, and then you can sell product as it comes out. So I hope that helped. You've got to embrace technology. Okay. I've got a lot of different ways that I run my business. I use Google admin, the back-end Google. I pay for it. And that way I have the docs and I have the Google Drive and all that good stuff. How about this one? Ready for this? You ready for a poor man's, Contractor Cam? Is that the new one that's been coming out? Contractor Cam? If you're listening, maybe you should reach out and sponsor the channel. Not a bad software. I did a test run on it the other day, but I do mine for free, technically, with Google. Google Photos. How do I embrace technology with Google Photos? If you have a 3-man crew, you're going to make an email address that's going to be, let's just say, email at your company name, right? And then you're going to have a separate password. For me, I do tech, for example. Tech at the360electrician.com. I don't have that, so don't email me that, but that's what I would do. And then every single one of my technicians would put that onto their shop phone, because I do supply shop phones. Every time they take a picture of the job site, like Company Cam, every time they do a video of the before, the after, and the during, it all gets uploaded to Google Photos. And guess what? Since everybody's using the same account, all the pictures drop in to the same account where I can go on my end, look it up, cut, and paste it into my field software. So again, property management company, I go out there and I see that the panel's burnt. I take the cover. I take 3 pictures of it. And then I do the job because I got the approval. As I'm doing the job, when the box is out, I might take 1 or 2 pictures for reference. When I'm done with the job, I take 1 or 2 after it's nicely labeled. And then guess what? When I invoice the customer, I send them before and after, all through my service software. Hey, what do you think about that? If you're watching it on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit that like button. If you're watching on any of the podcasts, Apple, Google, or Spotify, subscribe, hit that subscribe, download, support the channel, because this is the kind of information I'm going to give you. Ready for another tip? Let's go. All right. My next tip is the diversification, which I keep preaching to you. Yes, you got to diversify the offerings that you're doing, okay? If you're just a residential electrician, you better start thinking about light commercial. If you do both of those, you better start thinking about solar in 2023, right? Fluke is all in on solar. Did you guys know that? If you don't, you will on the channel coming up soon. You need to start doing gate motors. You need to start doing EV chargers. You got to start diversifying, but not only your offering. Are you ready? You got to diversify your team. Yes. Did you think about that for a second? When you hire people that do other things besides just residential electrician or this or that. If they've got painting experience, if they've got low voltage experience, if they've got the solar experience, if they used to be a programmer and they got IT skills, I don't care what it is. When you hire and you've got candidates, try to pick the most diverse candidate you can. They don't have to be the best electrician in the world, right? They could get trained, but I would rather get someone that's good at a lot of things because there's common sense that comes along with it. You really need to build a strong, skilled team in different areas than just electrical. I hope you can understand how important that is, because as the demands of your business change, you're going to have the right team members right there to attack it. And when you start doing new business, someone that maybe has learned or done solar is better at certain jobs because maybe they've learned different ways to do it. Low voltage is a great entry point, you guys. I make a ton of money in my brick and mortar when I do low voltage. I offer that to clients after I've signed the proposal, the contract to do the main work. And then I go in and go, I need to talk to your low voltage contractor to see where they want the outlets, or their fire sprinkler contractor, right? And they sit there and go, excuse me? You mean you're not doing it? Nope, not in my contract. I did the course at the 360electrician.com that Jeff had, and in it, it told me about exclusions. And one of those exclusions are low voltage. Did I tell you I'm sponsoring my own channel, or my own program today? All right, are you ready for tip number 4 or 5? Where are we at? I'm not sure, but let's go to the next tip. Okay, my next tip is fine line. Let's put it that way. I don't necessarily do this, so I'm not going to say I haven't. But look, I go to church, okay? I go to social events. I go to... All right, our next tip is to keep up to date with industry standards. Keep up to date with what's going on in your market. Keep up to date with new things coming out and try to be the front runner of those things. And what do I mean? Look, Solar Edge, for example, everybody used to make solar inverters, right? And then I went to the electric trade show in Vegas probably about 6 years ago, and boom, Solar Edge came out with an inverter that also has an EV charger built into it. Whoa, game changer, right? Imagine if you were the first guy to offer that and your competition didn't know about it. And so when you go to offer something and they're offering a different inverter brand, you can say, I offer this inverter brand. And by the way, I'm going to throw in an electric car charger that's tied into the inverter, works off your solar panels. Boom. Amazing, right? That gate motor technology I told you about, there's always new innovations coming out. There's always new devices like Ring doorbells. There's always new alarm systems that are DIY, but you can install it, right? A lot of clients, they buy these things, but they don't know how to install it. How about Lutron? One of my favorite brands, Lutron, right? They just updated the Cressetta system, which is not a poor man's automation by any means. But it's an entry point. And why don't you offer Cressetta from Lutron? And when you're doing that kitchen remodel or that small remodel, why not say, and if you sign up with me, I've got a special going on right now. If you sign today, I'm going to give you a $500 home automation package. You know what? That's going to cost you $200 out of your pocket, right? But the value is $500, $600, $800. Now they can have their Alexa control all their devices, and they can have timers and stuff like that. You're not going to know these things if you're not up to date with the industry and what's going on in the industry itself with new products. Now, here on YouTube, I get the benefit of doing that. Well, YouTube and this podcast, because people reach out to me with new products because they want to push it and sell it. That's what I want to do to you. I always want to educate you guys on the really cool stuff that's coming out so that you guys can also sell it. So by being up to date with industry developments and what's coming out, you could be the front runner and definitely offer more. See, this all ties into offering more stuff in your business as well, correct? Yes, it does. All right. I want to wrap this podcast up with probably my final suggestion to you if you really want to grow your business. Some of you are going to click off at this point because you've followed me for a long, long time, and a lot of you have already done it. You've bought my marketing course on my website, www.the360electrician.com. My marketing course is a game changer for the electrical contracting industry. Nobody that I know of sells anything like it. I am going to teach you how I grew my business 16 years ago. Within the first 2 to 3 years, I never paid a penny to Yelp, Google, or any other advertising for retail work ever. Why do I say retail? Because I did spend a little bit of money in a subcontractor group to get new construction jobs and stuff like that. Totally different story. But as far as retail, door to door, Angie's List, all that Yelp stuff, never. Did you guys know that for months and months and months, I've been saying, guys, I've been around 16 years and I only have 15 5-star ratings on Google. Did you know I looked the other day and my brick and mortar in 16 years only has 5-star ratings? Why? I don't pay for leads. I am the lead. Number 2, I don't base my business in the stars. I don't look up in the sky and wish upon a star that my business is going to take off. If I can just get more clients and kiss their rears, they'll give me another star, and that star will turn into another star. Heck to the no. I make each and every client so happy, give them so much value, and rip up $100 bills and give them the half to pass out to their friends and family. And when they do, I bring the other half and I put it together. I'm being, I'm using an analogy. I don't literally rip up $100 bills, but that's what I teach you in the marketing course. And then I teach you how you get your flyers passed out for free without you lifting a finger or paying anybody else to do it. And everything I'm telling you is print ready. You tell me what you want on your flyer based on what I have. You pick 1, 2, 3. I want fan motor, generator, solar, EV car charger. I want a $25 coupon, or what I suggest now to everybody is a $50 coupon. And then I put it all together for you. And then I send it over to you and you just take it to the printer. I'm going to send you your $100 bills, right? I'm going to send those to you ready to go so you can start making 1 customer to 3, 3 into 9, 9 into 21. You guys have heard that almost on every single podcast, every single live. But if you're listening right now, I'm not just going to preach it. I'm going to tell it to you right now. Right now, I don't know how long it's going to be there. So if you've heard this maybe 6 months from now, I'm sorry. I don't know if it'll be around. But right now, if you go to the website, www.the360electrician.com, and purchase the marketing course, or the paperwork course for that matter. That's a whole other subject. I told you about the paperwork course. It's ready to go sample of my electrical contracts, paperwork, terms and conditions to protect you from all the legal mumbo jumbo. Take it to your accountant, your lawyer, and your state for certification to make it legit to where you are. But it's all editable. You get $50 off if you type in capitals, take, TAKE, and the number 50. Take 50. I'm going to put it on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, head over and do that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. This is the kind of stuff that I'm going to be bringing. I hope my content gets better and better for you guys in 2023. That's my goal. Sponsor the channel. If you're on YouTube, hit that super thanks if you got something out of it and support the channel. Did you guys see the video? We're starting to give away stuff on the streets. Anytime that a sponsor gives me anything, if I get more than one, these sponsors, thank you, Ranger Design. I don't know if you guys know about Ranger Design, the best system that you can put into your cargo vans. I'm going to give them away partially on the street and partially on the channel here on YouTube and on the podcast. So that's it for now. Let's start 2023 the right way, and let's start making the money that we deserve to make. It's not about the money. It's also about time. I want you to have the time and the freedom to do what you want to do with your life, just like I've been blessed and I get to do it here. We will see you guys on the next one.